You'd think choosing between Palm Coast and St. Johns County would be simple. After all, they're both coastal, both growing like crazy, and both popping up in every Florida relocation thread online. But here's the truth most people don't realize. These two places offer very different lifestyles. And if you're a family thinking about putting down roots, sending kids to school, or just want more peace of mind in where you're moving, the difference really matters. If we haven't met yet, I'm Josh Rogers. I've been a real estate agent for the past 15 years, and I lead the F3 home team right here in St. Johns County. We've helped hundreds of families make the move, many from across the country. And our goal is simple, to help you find the community and home that fits your lifestyle, your priorities, and your long-term goals. And honestly, it usually just starts with a quick text. So if you're considering the move and want a local expert who truly knows this area, feel free to text me anytime. I'd love to help you figure it out. Now let's break down the 5 biggest differences between St. Johns County and Palm Coast so you can start narrowing in on what's right for you. Let's start with schools, because for so many families, this ends up being the deciding factor. In St. Johns County, you're looking at one of the top-ranked school districts in Florida. And that's been the case for years. It's not just marketing either, and this is a district where every level from elementary to high school is stacked with A-rated schools. You'll see new campuses, robust programs in arts and STEM, championship sports teams, and high-performing students. Parents are plugged in, community support is strong, and there's a real sense that schools matter here because they're a centerpiece of daily life. Now, Palm Coast is part of Flagler County Schools, and while some schools are making progress, the district overall doesn't have the same reputation or consistency as St. Johns County. You'll also find caring teachers and some newer facilities, but you don't get the same widespread excellence across every grade level like you do in St. John's. So if education and family-friendly communities are at the top of your list, St. Johns County is going to check a lot more of those boxes. And since families are often thinking beyond just schools, let's transition into what life actually looks like outside of class, which is the community lifestyle. Now, this is one of those categories where you'll feel the difference almost instantly. St. Johns County has this polished, master-planned, family-forward feel. Think neighborhoods with splash parks, bike trails, coffee shops, fitness classes at the clubhouse, and food truck nights on the green. Everything feels clean, connected, and thoughtfully designed because it actually is. Communities like Nocatee, Rivertown, and Shearwater are built for interaction. You'll see parents walking their kids to school, families riding golf carts to the amenity center, and weekend farmers markets packed with strollers and golden retrievers. Palm Coast, on the other hand, has a much more spread out, natural feel. You'll find a mix of older homes and newer developments, and while there are some great parks and golf courses, it's less of a curated, master-planned vibe and more of a traditional residential layout. Things are quieter, slower paced, and there's less of a built-in social calendar unless you seek it out. So depending on your personality, like whether you thrive on structure and amenities or prefer space and solitude, that could be a huge influence on where you feel most at home. And while we're talking about structure and pace, let's move into growth and development because these two areas are on very different trajectories. St. Johns County is absolutely booming. New communities are launching every year, schools are expanding, hospitals and shopping centers are popping up, and major infrastructure projects are in the works. This isn't a sleepy suburb. It's one of the fastest growing counties in the entire state. What that means for you is access to new schools, new restaurants, new parks, and rising home values that reflect all of that growth. It also means a little more construction, some traffic around key areas, and an evolving landscape. But the upside is strong long-term value and a really dynamic place to live. Palm Coast, meanwhile, is growing too, but at a slower pace. Development is happening, but it feels more modest. You're not going to see the same volume of commercial projects or infrastructure investment. That can be a good thing if you're looking for peace and affordability, but it may also mean fewer conveniences, longer drives for shopping or dining, and slower appreciation in home values. So if long-term growth, appreciation, and access to new amenities are on your radar, that's where St. John's will likely edge out Palm Coast. Now let's take that growth conversation and zoom in a little specifically into how each area handles new construction, builders, and neighborhoods. St. Johns County is packed with well-known national and regional builders. David Weekley, Toll Brothers, Providence, Mastercraft, and most of the new neighborhoods are master planned with clear themes, architectural consistency, and layered amenities. That gives the whole area a more cohesive, upscale feel. Palm Coast has more of a patchwork feel. There are pockets of new construction, and some of it is very affordable, but you're also going to see more variation in quality, lot layout, and street flow. Some blocks have vacant lots, others have older homes mixed with new builds, and it's harder to find that cohesive neighborhood vibe unless you're in one of the newer, more planned developments. So if you care about community design, walkability, or that everything feels new atmosphere, St. John's probably gets the win. But if you're okay with more variety and want something a little more private or traditional, Palm Coast could surprise you with what's out there. And while we're on the topic of living environment, let's talk about the final piece, which is the location and access to the places you'll actually go. Palm Coast sits a little further south, so while you're close to the beach and just a short drive to Daytona, you're also farther from Jacksonville, major employers, and a large airport. It's great if you work remotely or don't need quick access to a big metro. But if you commute, travel frequently, or want easy access to places like Mayo Clinic, Town Center Shopping, or Jax Beach, then St. John's puts you in a better position. You're just south of Jacksonville, close to I-95 and about 45 minutes from the airport. It's also easier to pop into St. Augustine for the weekend or make a Costco run without planning a whole day around it. So whether you prioritize peace and quiet or proximity and convenience, this is a major difference to factor in. And hey, if you're still unsure which one fits your family best, that's exactly what I help with. Don't overthink it alone. Go ahead and text me and I'll help you talk through what matters most and which neighborhoods actually match your lifestyle. That said, if you're seriously thinking about making the move and just want someone who knows the area inside and out to help you make the right decision for your family, I'd love to be that guide. Just shoot me a text and we'll take it from there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.